Hello once again. I was in Fredericton today, Mom and I were. We paid a visit to the Value Village store there, and I got a lot of cool stuff you can see. I got everything you see here for about $25, which is a lot of money. But what the heck, I mean, we don't get to go there very often, and if there's cool stuff there, why not get it? Starting right off, for $2 each, I got these 4 cords. I got this grounded extension cord, which is nice. I'm always in need of grounded extension cords. Just the one end on it. But yeah, that'll come in handy. And then I got these 3 telephone cords. I'm always on the lookout for telephone cords now. Well, not so much anymore. I've got all of them I'll ever need now. But I got this nice short one, and it's terminated with an RJ11 connector on each end. And then I got this nice longer one that's also terminated with an RJ11 connector on each end. And then I got this also pretty long one, which is basically an extension cord. It's got a male RJ11 on one end and a female jack on the other end. So, very good. I got these 6 15-amp screw-in fuses. I didn't even need these, but the sort of neat thing about Value Village is for small stuff like this and for the stuff I just showed you, you'll see they pack them all in these bags, and oftentimes with electrical stuff they'll pack multiple items in one bag and price it at like $2 or $3. So these came with a lot of these other things I'll get to in a moment, and they were all in one bag for $2 or $3. So yeah, 6 15-amp fuses, all of them test good. I don't even have a use for these, but hey, we'll never have to buy spares now in case one burns out in the stove. So yeah, that's quite nice. I got this pack of Aristocrat casino playing cards, and this is one of the decks of cards. I've had these before that were apparently used in actual play at a casino. In this pack's case, it was Bally's in Las Vegas. So yeah, these very cards in this box were actually in use in a casino, and then the casino will like sell packs of used cards in their gift shop or whatever. And this has never been opened. The sticker there is still intact. I don't think these are worth anything. These are super common to come by, so I don't think they're generally worth much. But yeah, Aristocrat, made by the United States Playing Card Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I got this because, although I very rarely use playing cards, I like old decks of playing cards, vintage playing cards. So this was pretty cool. I'm going to open this because I just want to see what the cards themselves are like. Well, I sure as heck wasn't expecting this. Take a look at this. These are weird cards. First of all, they're not rectangular in shape. They are regulation size, but they've had the corners rounded off on opposite ends. That's very weird. And then second of all, they're large print cards. So that's kind of weird. I don't know if I like that or not. I expected just ordinary regulation cards, considering that these came from a casino. But yeah, that's very interesting. What I do like about these is that the red suits, the red color is actually more brownish, and I love playing cards that use sort of a toned down brownish color for the red suits, rather than just a bright candy apple red or whatever. So that is nice, but yeah, these are weird cards. And it gets weirder. Notice that while the uncut edges of the deck all line up, the edges that have been rounded off, not every card it was rounded off evenly. It's almost like this was homemade, like somebody did this for fun. Like these haven't been like professionally cut, because the rounding off is different for each card, you know what I mean? So that's very strange. And also some of the cards, the rounding off looks kind of rough. Like notice there, it's got sort of this 2 of spades here. It's got like this little notch in it. So weird. What a weird pack of playing cards. I don't know what's going on with these. But they're nice cards nonetheless. They get a nice finish on them. There's no friction between cards or anything like that. They're very, very good cards. Just very odd. Next, I got this Logitech USB game controller with dual analog sticks. This is so cool. This is going to be really, really nice for some computer games. If I can get it working with like the Atari games that I like to play, this is going to make those so nice. And it'll be nice for Microsoft Flight Simulator with the analog sticks. Oh, this is great. This is gonna be a real treat for some games. Hopefully it actually works. I haven't actually tried it yet. It's got one button on it that sticks and it pops back up after a while. I'm sure that can be fixed with some cleaning. This thing is a little grungy overall, but I'm sure it can be cleaned up and it'll work just fine. So yeah, that's going to be really nice. Next, I got some light bulbs. I got this vintage GE halogen 50 watt light. I really don't have a use for this. It just came in a bag with other stuff. Looks like it's actually Canadian General Electric. It was made in Canada, probably from the 90s. Let's take a look here. And it actually doesn't have a prismatic reflector on it. It's just got sort of this fine finish on it. You can actually clearly see the shape of the bulb with the naked eye. Does it have the CGE logo? No, it doesn't. It's got the normal American GE logo. It says GE Halogen Narrow Spot 50 watt 120 volt Canada. Interesting nonetheless. Got another spare bulb for the bathroom. 40 watt globe bulb. Philips. Duramax. Long life, rated 2,000 hours. Very good. I got this Canadian General Electric 40 watt appliance bulb. You can see, if we look on the bulb itself, it's got the CGE logo. Very cool. Bulb doesn't actually say where it was made, but it would have been Canada. Actually, this says imported by GE Lighting Canada, so maybe it wasn't made in Canada. Doesn't actually say for sure. Next was this 12 volt 10 watt bi-pin halogen bulb. I have no use for this. I'll probably throw it up on eBay. And then this was kind of interesting. This box of, and this came in a bag with a few of the other light bulbs. It says Wagner Lighting Miniature Lamp Automotive. And I had no idea, what could be in this box. At first I figured, some small 12 volt bulbs, maybe used for like license plate lights or something. But then I looked at the edge of the box and it says 2.47 volts. What the heck? Well, I opened the box and out came what appears to be just the standard 3 volt bulbs that you often find in like dollar store lanterns and stuff. I think I have a few lanterns and flashlights that fit these bulbs. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure, follow note here. I'm not sure why they're called automotive lamps. They're only 2.47 volts. Maybe when you put 4 or 5 of them in series, maybe some cars used 4 or 5 in series for like dashboard lighting or something. I don't know. One was used. We've got 9. But yeah, these are nice. I can't think of any flashlight or lantern where I've actually had to replace the bulb in it that uses a bulb like this, but nonetheless, these are a nice find. Federal Mogul, never heard of them, but apparently they're in Southfield, Michigan and Vaughan, Ontario. And the bulbs were made in China, no surprise. Very interesting. And then finally for lighting, this was really cool. I grossly overpaid for this at $7, but it was just super cool. It's one of these little lamps that hang on the headboard of your bed. And it's got a rocker switch on it, just plugs in. I've already got it plugged in. And yeah, little headboard lamp for the head of your for your bed. Used for reading or whatever. Very, very cool. I don't know when this would have been made. Judging by the arbitrary oriental pattern on the metal label here, 60s or 70s would be my guess. It was made in Taiwan, and it says maximum 40 watts, and it takes a Type S bulb. It's an intermediate base, which is interesting, because it definitely looks from the outside like it'd be a standard base, although the shade is kind of small, but it's an intermediate base, and it apparently originally took a Type S bulb, which is sort of a small globe-shaped bulb, normally used for sign lamps. Old-fashioned signs that are full of like little bulbs around the outside, and sometimes they might flash on and off in a pattern or whatever. Those types of bulbs. You could get them in 10, 25, 40 watt variants. Those are the variants I've seen. This one doesn't have a Type S bulb in it. It's got this weird candelabra type bulb in it, like a large version of a nightlight bulb, probably 10 or 15 watts. And it you can see the end of it kind of sticks out. But it does the job. Very, very nice. And my first thought, first of all, before I go on, you can adjust the little bracket here to make it narrower or wider to fit your headboard. Very nice. And the head pivots. It pivots on that axis, and it pivots on this axis. And it rotates, so very cool. My first thought for this thing when I saw it was to set it up over there somehow, so that if I was using the computer over there at night and it was dark and I couldn't see the keyboard very well, I could hang this lamp up above somewhere to shine down on the keyboard, but there's really nothing there that I could hang it off of. But another use I've had for it is up there. It could hang on the gap between the two parts of my closet door there to provide some light for the closet when I'm getting dressed to go to work for the morning, wanting to see what I want to wear without having to turn on a main light and blind myself right after I get out of bed. I do have a fluorescent light in the back wall there, but that's not very good at lighting the clothing because it's backlight, not front lighting. But I could hang this up there, and I've already tried it, and it could shine the light down there, and it'd be perfect for that job. So, yeah. But once I'm in my new apartment, and I have my bed all set up there, my bed, my double-sized bed, actually has a headboard, so I'll use this for that, and that'll be pretty nice. And now last, but most definitely not least, any of you guys who've spotted this in the video already were probably just screaming at me to get to it already. What is this thing with a blinking green light on it? It's a Blackberry Curve 9300. Yes, somebody donated their Blackberry to a Value Village store, and I bought it for $4, and it works just fine. Seriously, this is so cool. I've never had a Blackberry. This is so darn cool. This is from 2010 or thereabouts. It runs Blackberry OS 6. And yeah, it works just fine so far. When I turned it on for the first time, plugged in a micro USB cable, and it charged up and turned on just fine. But the little trackpad here didn't work. And I looked it up, and it turns out that non-working trackpads is a very common problem in this phone. And I read a sort of a crude fix for it that did end up working for me, and that's that you take the back of the phone off, take the battery out, and you basically apply a lot of pressure on the back of the phone under the battery where the trackpad is. So you basically squeeze the back and the front of the trackpad together, and that got it working. So it must, fix like a broken connection issue or something like that. And I did that, and it worked for a few hours, and then it happened again. So I did it again, and it's still working so far. So apparently, the only permanent fix is to disassemble these and install a new trackpad assembly. And disassembling these does not look like a very fun job. So I figure as long as it works as well as it is right now, I'll play around with it. I've actually got my SIM card in it right now, and it works just fine, makes calls, everything. I've been on Facebook on it on the web browser. Haven't hooked it up to a computer yet. I'll have to do that. and see if there are any further updates to the OS, even if just minor updates that I can make to it. See if there's any updates to the built-in Facebook and Twitter apps, which do not work anymore. So I'm not planning by default to make a video about this thing, but if you guys would be interested in seeing a video of this thing, just quickly demonstrating it on the internet, demonstrating the camera and video recording capabilities, if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments on this video, and I'll make a video of this thing if there's interest. But until then, I've been having a lot of fun playing around with this circa 2010 Blackberry. These things were all the rage in the early part of this decade. Oh, also, this one came with a 2GB SD card in it. The person who donated it didn't even check for that. It had a 2GB SD card in it, so that's great. Free SD card. It also had a Bell SIM card in it, which is obviously useless. So this phone might be locked to Bell. There was originally a Bell app in the app list, but I factory reset the phone and there isn't a Bell app now. So maybe it's an unlocked phone, but at the very least, even if it was locked to Bell, luckily it should work with my PC Mobile SIM card, because PC Mobile is a virtual mobile operator of Bell's cellular system. So yeah, really cool. And with that is all the stuff that I got at Value Village today. Really, really good haul. Sort of overpaid for some of it. But really, really fun nonetheless. I'm going to have a lot of fun with a lot of this stuff. Definitely this. And some of this stuff is going to come in handy. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time.